Welcome students. Now we will discuss with the engineering physics module number 5 material science. Now in that material science we have divided into three parts: conductors, semiconductors and dielectrics. In the dielectrics we have discussed about polarization and what are the types of polarization. We will discuss in this class what is the polarization and what are the different types of polarization. Now, first we will see about the polarization. What is a polarization? The displacement of charges in the atoms, molecules or ions. The displacement of charges in the atoms or molecules of a dielectric under the action of an applied field leading to the development of dipole moment is called polarization. Is it clear now? The displacement of the charges. Displacement means shifting of the charges, either the atoms or molecules. We are calling as a polarization. Next, we will see what are the different types of polarization. Now, there are three types of polarization. There are three different types of polarization. The first one is electronic polarization. Second one is ionic polarization. Third one is orientational polarization. We will discuss now one by one. Is it clear now? First one is electronic polarization. The electronic polarization occurs due to displacement of the means shifting of the positive and negative charges in a dielectric material in the application of an external electric field. Is it clear now? The electronic polarization occurs due to displacement of the positive and negative charges in a dielectric material in the application of an applied external field. Now, you can see the diagram here. When the electric field in the absence of the external electric field, in the presence of field. Is it clear now? E equals 0, E greater than 0. Charge distribution in the absence of the field. In the absence of the field, this is a positive charge, these are the negative charge. This is a positive charge, these are the negative charge. In the presence of external electric field, the shifting or the displacement of the charges should be takes place. Instead of here, the positive charges could be shifted to right side. See here, that could be shifted to right side. The separation created between the charges leads to the development of the dipole moment. This process we can written in the electronic polarizability. We can denote a letter alpha. E is the electronic, alpha is the polarizability. Alpha E equals epsilon naught, epsilon r minus 1 whole divided by n, where n is the number of atoms per volume. Number of atoms per unit volume. This is the electronic polarization. Mainly you need to know what is a polarization. Polarization means displacement of the either the atoms or molecules or charges. Shifting. Displacement means shifting. When in the presence of external electric field. Now we will move on to the second one. Second one is the ionic polarization. Now in the ionic polarization, the ions can be displaced from one position to another position when in the presence of external electric field. In the presence of external electric field. Now you can see here, ionic polarization occurs only in those dielectric material which possesses ionic bonds. Which are the ionic bonds? For example, NaCl, Na plus and Cl minus. KCl, K plus and Cl minus. These are the ions, positive ions and negative ions when we consider. Now, when ionic solids are subjected to external electric field, the adjacent ions of opposite sign undergo displacement. Which undergo displacement. The displacement cause an increase or decrease the distance of separation between the atoms depending the location of the ion pair of the lattice. Now, when you observe the diagram, see here, there is a positive ion, there is a negative ion. In the absence of electrical field, these are the position or location of the positive ions and negative ions. Now, in the presence of external electric field, the shifting of the earth, the displacement of the positive and negative ions, either the distance may increase or it may be decrease. See here, the positive ion, it will be in the same position. The negative ion can be displaced from this position to, it will comes to near the positive ion. This is shifting, displacement should be takes place. In another line, see here in another, if you observe here, the positive ion, this should be shifted to right side. Like that, the displacement of the atom should be, means ion should be takes place in the presence of external electric field. Now we will discuss with the third one, orientational polarization. Third one is the orientational polarization. Now what is a orientational polarization? Orientational polarization occurs those dielectric materials, whether liquids or solid, which possesses molecules with permanent dipole moment. The orientation of these molecules will be random, normally due to thermal energy or thermalization. Because of randomness in orientation of the materials, it having a net zero dipole moment, but under the influence of external electric field, dipoles undergo rotation. See here, in the absence of electric field, the movement of molecules or ions, it should be in the random direction. See here, it should be in the different direction. This is a orientation. Orientation means that will be moving in one particular direction. Now, in the presence of external electric field, all the molecules, see here, all the molecules, it will be moving in one particular direction. This is called as orientational polarization. Now, the total polarization we can consider here. Alpha is a polarization. Now, total polarization we will consider as electronic polarization, ionic polarization plus orientational polarization. Electronic, ionic plus orientational polarization. Alpha equals alpha A plus alpha naught. Alpha naught is the orientational polarization.